press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to part 1 of the chapter electrochemistry. So already I think you are all familiar with some important concepts in electrochemistry. So what is meant by electrochemistry? It deals with the study of behavior of electrolytes and also the interconversion of electrical and chemical energies. So very important. So interconversion of chemical and electrical energies. Electrical energy. So energy liberated during a chemical reaction. So that can be converted into an electrical energy by means of a device or a cell. So they are called the electrochemical cells. Is clear? So conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy or electrical energy into chemical energy. The production of electricity from the chemical reaction. Production of electricity from chemical reaction or the energy liberated during a redox reaction in case of chemical reactions that is converted into electrical energy, or such an amount of electrical energy can be utilized for carrying out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. It means that energy liberated in case of spontaneous chemical reactions that can be utilized for carrying out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. The chemical change involving in the production or consumption of electricity is called electrochemical change. So chemical change involving in the production or consumption of electricity. It is called electrochemical change. Clear? Chemical change involving in the production and consumption of electricity, that is called electrochemical change. The cells means that the devices. ಈಗ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್? So production and consumption of electricity through chemical reactions done by using a cells, they are called electrochemical cells. So production and consumption of electricity through chemical reactions can be done by using a cell called electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cell. So what is meant by an electrochemical cell? Production and consumption of electricity through chemical reactions by using a cell, by using a device that is called electrochemical cells. There are two types of electrochemical cells. So one is electrolytic cell and the other one is galvanic cells. So galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So electrochemical cells, they are also called the galvanic cells. The galvanic cells alle ನೀವು ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಆ ಡೇನಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ an example for galvanic cell. So in galvanic cells ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ in galvanic cells the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So chemical energy of the redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. The production of electricity through chemical reactions by using a device called a cell. So that is galvanic cell. In galvanic cell, chemical energy of the redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. Clear? So what is meant by the galvanic cell? The device which can be used to supply electrical energy by means of chemical reactions, means the redox reactions. So in redox reactions, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Then the device used is called a galvanic cell. So it is a spontaneous reduction reaction. Spontaneous redox reaction. Galvanic cells involving spontaneous redox reactions. Then what is meant by electrolytic cell? Not idu ulta. So in this case, chemical energy of the redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. But here, the electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So in electrolytic cells, electrical energy that can be converted into chemical energy. But in case of galvanic cells, chemical energy of the redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. And also in case of electrolytic cells, so these are non-spontaneous redox reactions. So these are non-spontaneous redox reactions. So galvanic cells involving spontaneous redox reactions, electrolytic cells involving non-spontaneous redox reactions. Ille overall conclusion is what are electrochemical cells ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲೇ ಏನು the cells in which what are electrochemical cells are production, the cells in which the production and consumption of electricity through chemical reactions. So by using a devices, they are called electrochemical cells. Two types of electrochemical cells, electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. In galvanic cells, chemical energy of the redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. But in case of electrolytic cells, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Then in case of galvanic cells, so it involves spontaneous redox reaction. But the electrolytic cells, they involve non-spontaneous redox reactions. Then what is the electronic aspects of redox reactions? Electronic aspects of redox reactions. Chemical reaction involving both reduction and oxidation. So oxidation means loss of electrons. Oxidation means loss of electrons. So oxidizing agent or it is also called oxidant. So it is a substance which gains electrons. Oxidant or oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electrons. The process in which electrons are lost, that is called oxidation. So it is a process. Oxidation is a process in which electrons are lost. Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electrons. Similarly, reduction, it is a process in which electrons are gained. Addition of electrons. the process in which electrons are gained. So reducing agent or reductant, so it is a substance, which loses electrons. Substance which gains electrons is oxidant. Substance which loses the electrons, that is reductant. So this is the electronic aspects of redox reactions. A chemical reaction in which both reduction as well as the oxidation reaction takes place, that is redox reaction. So in chemical reactions, energy liberated through a redox reaction or in a redox reaction, that can be converted into electrical energy, or in case of a metallurgical process, in the extraction of metals from their respective ores, the electrical energy supplied, the electrical energy that can be converted into chemical energy. Now metals extract ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ electrical energy ನ supply ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. So they are all non-spontaneous redox reactions. Non-spontaneous reactions. Clear? Then, so what are conductors? So what are conductors? Conductors. What are conductors? The substance which allows the flow of electric current through them. The substance which allows the flow of electric current through them. The substance which allows the flow of electric current through them, they are called conductors. So there are two types of conductors. So one is electronic conductor, and other one is, or it is also called metallic conductor, and other one is electrolytic conductor. Electronic or metallic conductors, and other one is electrolytic conductors. So electrolytic conductors, in case of electrolytes are used. So in both the cases, metals also, which conducts electricity, is clear, which allows the flow of electrons through it. Metals, so movement of electrons is nothing but the flow of charge. Flow of charge is nothing but electric current. So therefore, in general, the substances which allows the flow of electric current through them, they are called conductors. There are two types of conductors. One is the metallic conductor and other one is electrolytic conductors. So what is meant by the metallic or electrolytic conductor? The conductors are the substances which allows the flow of electric current by the movement of electrons. The substance which allows the flow of electric current by the movement of electrons, that is called electronic conductor or metallic conductor. Then what is meant by electrolytic conductor? So electrolytic conductor. So how would you define the term the electrolytic conductor? So here also the substance means an electrolyte, so which allows the flow of electric current by the movement of ions in aqueous or in the molten state, They are called electrolytic conductors. Clear? So what are electrolytic conductors? The substances which allows the flow of electric current by the movement of ions in its aqueous form or in the molten state. So that is the electrolytic conductor. Then what is meant by the metallic conductor? So the conductors which allows the flow of electric current by the movement of electrons, by the movement of electrons. So that is called electronic conductor or metallic conductors. So what are the differences between the electronic and electrolytic conductors? Differences between electrolytic and metallic conductors. Metallic conductors. Electrolytic conductor, electrolytic conduction or conductor, and metallic conduction. Electrolytic conduction and metallic conduction. So in case of electrolytic conduction, conductivity is due to the movement of ions. Clear? So conductivity, so it is due to, conductivity is due to movement of ions. So what is meant by electrolytic conduction? The substance which allows the flow of electric current through them by the movement of ions, by the movement of ions. But here the substances which conducts electricity by the movement of free electrons. So conductivity is due to, conductivity is due to the movement of electrons. Movement of electrons. Major difference. It is due to the movement of, it involves the movement of ions. The metallic conduction involves the movement of free electrons. Then second point is electrolytic conduction. ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ HCl ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಆನೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಥೋಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್. Electrolyte undergoes decomposition, which means that there is a loss of mass takes place. So during electrolytic conduction, loss of mass takes place. Loss of mass takes place because we know that the elements are liberated at the respective electrodes. So electrolytes in the, nodi, say if you consider HCl on passing an electric current, H2 gas liberated at cathode and chlorine gas liberated at anode. So it means that HCl is decomposed into its elements. So now electrolyte ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, electrolyte ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗಲ್ಲ ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ನ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ವೈರಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಪರ್ ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಏನು ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. There is no net loss of mass takes place. No net loss of mass takes place. Electronic conduction ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ substance ನ mass loss ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. But in case of electrolytic conduction, there is a loss of mass takes place. Why? So because the ions are movement of ions takes place towards the oppositely charged electrodes. Then after the movement of ions towards the oppositely charged electrodes, the elements are liberated. So because the ions loses their electrons or ions gains electrons, so anions loses the electrons, they undergoes oxidation, and cations gains electrons. So ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟ್ ನ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ in case of electrolytic conduction, and there is no net loss of mass in case of metallic conduction. Then another point is It explains the phenomenon of electrolysis, but this cannot explains the phenomenon of phenomenon of electrolysis. So what is meant by electrolysis? It is the decomposition of an electrolyte. So HCl, it is converted into H2 plus Cl2. So electrolysis ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So on passing an electric current through an aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid, H plus ions move towards cathode. At cathode, they gains electrons and convert into hydrogen gas. So that is why hydrogen gas is liberated at cathode. And Cl minus ions move towards anode. So at anode, all the Cl minus ions loses their charge by giving the electrons. So that the chlorine gas is liberated at anode. So the decomposition of, so electrolysis means decomposition of an electrolyte on passing an electric current into its elements, that phenomenon is called electrolysis. Clear? So what is meant by electrolysis andaga napittukoldre decomposition of an electrolyte into its elements on passing an electric current. But in case of metallic conduction, there is no loss of mass takes place, no net loss of mass takes place. But here, loss of mass takes place, and it can explain the phenomenon of electrolysis, decomposition of an electrolyte into its elements on passing an electric current. That is called electrolysis. So electrolysis phenomena is explained by electrolytic conduction, but electrolysis phenomena cannot be explained by metallic conduction. Clear? Then another point is, so in case of electrolytic conduction increases with increase in temperature. So electrolytic conduction increases with increase in temperature. Electrolytic conduction increases with increase in temperature. So here metallic conduction decreases with increase in temperature. So the resistance in case of metallic conduction increases with increase in temperature. As a result of which the conductivity decreases, conductance decreases. So the metallic conduction decreases with increase in temperature. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, in case of metallic conductions, some metals which consists of the kernels and the mobile electrons. Metallic crystal which consists of kernels and the mobile electrons. So these are called kernels. Kernels means positively charged metal ions, positive metal ions, kernels. And the space between the kernels, it is occupied by mobile electrons. Space between the kernels occupied by mobile electrons. So these are the some mobile electrons. So when the temperature is increased, so these kernels starts vibrating. ನೋಡಿ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಕರ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ನ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ when it is heated, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ these kernels they starts vibrating. These vibrating kernels which restricts the movement of free electrons. So as a result of this, in case of metallic conductions, as the temperature increases, the conductivity decreases. But in case of electrolytic conduction, as the temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the ions increases. So in case of the electrolytic conduction, conductivity is directly proportional to the mobility of ions. In case of electrolytic conduction, as the temperature increases, the ions present in the electrolyte, they gain some extra energy. Their movement in the cell increases towards opposite charge electrodes, which means that conductivity is directly proportional to the mobility of ions. Ions na movement ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ions ನ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ electrolytic conduction. So that is why the electrolytic conduction increases with increase in temperature. Metallic conduction decreases with increase in temperature, because when the temperature is increased, the movement of the movement of free electrons on hitting the metal, which restricts. So because when the temperature of the metal is increased, or when metal is heated, the kernels gain some energy. They start vibrating. These vibrating kernels which restricts the movement of free electrons. That is why the metallic conduction decreases with increase in temperature. Clear? Done. So another point is generally electrolytic conduction. Electrolytic conduction is low in general. So generally some metallic conduction is high. Generally metallic conduction is high. So these are some difference between the electrolytic and metallic conductions. Clear? So idu gottalla. Then another point is electrolytic conduction. So ಈಗ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ electrolytic conduction ಲಿ ಬರೋಣ. So we know that the conductors, both electrolytic as well as metallic conductors, which obeys Ohm's law. So electrolytic and metallic and metallic conductors obey Ohm's law. So both electrolytic and metallic conductors which obeys Ohm's law. Current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional. So we know that I is equal to V by R. So current flowing through a conductor, whether it may be either electrolytic conductor or metallic conductor, in both the cases, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference and inversely proportional to resistance. So both electrolytic and metallic conductors which obeys Ohm's law. So adana physics alli detail agi ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ. Then case of conductors. So what is meant by the resistance? So in case of electrolytic conductions, ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ so in the electrolytic conductions, electrolytic conductor. So in case of electrolytic conductors, so there are 6 important points here: resistance, conductance, specific resistance, specific conductance, equivalent conductance and molar conductance. So ಈ 6 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ, so first one is the resistance. It is denoted by R. So what is meant by the resistance? Resistance and conductance. Resistance is the property of a substance which opposes the flow of electric current. So it is the property of a substance which opposes the flow of electric current. electric current. Then in case of conductance, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬದಲಾಗಿ which favors the flow of electric current. ನೋಡಿ, which obstructs the flow of electric current, that is resistance. Which favors the flow of current is conductance. Clear? ನೋಡಿ ಆಗಲೇ, so resistance is the property of a substance which opposes the flow of electric current. And ಈಗ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಎರಡು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಎರಡು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಹೀಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್, and this is the negative plate. The electrolytic solution is in between the two electrodes. So these are the electrodes. So this is the electrolytic conduction. The conductivity, it is due to the movement of ions present in the electrolytic solution. So if the distance between the two electrodes goes on increases, note the length between the two electrodes goes on increases. So as a result of which the resistance increases, which means that the resistance is directly proportional to length. Directly proportional to length. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದ್ರೆ conductivity decreases, conductance decreases, but resistance increases. That is why the resistance is directly proportional to length. And resistance, so ಈಗ ಈ electrode area, so not electrode, the electrolytic solution, area of an electrolytic solution goes on increases. So resistance decreases. So 1 by A, area. So resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. Directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to cross-sectional area of an electrode. It's clear. So which means that the resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. Then what is meant by the conductance? Conductance, it is denoted by G. So what is the unit of resistance? So unit is expressed in terms of ohms. Unit of resistance is ohms. So unit of conductance is per ohm. Per ohm. So because you know that conductance is the reciprocal of resistance. Conductance which favors. So it is also the property of a substance which favors the flow of electric current, which favors. So here, which opposes the flow of electric current. Resistance is the property of a substance which opposes the flow of electric current, but conductance is the property of a substance which favors the flow of electric current, which favors the flow of electric current. So conductance and resistance, they are inversely varies. Conductance is denoted by G. Then what is meant by specific resistance? Third one. Clear? Idon formula gnapittukoldre, R is proportional to L by A. So resistance is expressed in terms of ohms. Since resistance and conductance, they are inversely varies. So as a result of which the conductivity is, unit of conductance is per ohm. Next, third one, specific resistance. ನೋಡಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದಾವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ resistance, or so it is denoted by rho, or it is also called resistivity. ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗರೆ, what is meant by the resistivity? Specific resistance and specific conductance. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್, ಇದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಇದು ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್. So this is the electrolytic solution. Electrolytic solution. It is like this. So this is negative terminal. This is positive. This is the electrolytic solution. Clear? So length is L. So here length is equal to 1 meter or 1 centimeter. The other better expression. Area 1 square meter. So area of this solution. So area is equal to 1 square meter. Length is 1 meter, area is 1 square meter. ನೋಡಿ electrolytes ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು electrodes ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ distance 1 meter ಇದೆ. Length is 1 meter, area is 1 square meter. So we know that R is equal to R is proportional to L by A. Clear? Or R is equal to rho into L by A. So where rho is called resistivity. So what is meant by the resistivity? Resistivity of an electrolytic solution is equal to resistance. So when length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter, then resistance is equal to resistivity. Resistance is equal to resistivity. Resistivity andre eno? It is the resistance of ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte. ನೋಡಿ electrolytic solution ಎಷ್ಟು 1 meter length 1 square meter area. Total electrolytic solution volume 1 cubic meter ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ resistance of ions ಈಗ electrolyte ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ions ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Resistance of ions present in 1 cubic meter. So volume is equal to 1 cubic meter. Resistance of ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte, that is called specific resistance or resistivity. So what is meant by the resistivity? Resistivity, it is nothing but the resistance of a solution, electrolytic solution, which contains the ions. Then the total volume of solution becomes 1 cubic meter. Agar 1 cubic meter solution of an electrolyte ide, alle ions na resistance enirtade, that is called specific resistance, or it is also called resistivity. Resistivity is equal to the resistance of a solution when the length is 1 meter and the area is 1 square meter. Is clear? So then resistance is equal to, so here resistance is equal to, so idanna nodi, so resistance is equal to resistivity multiplied by cell constant. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ. Resistance is equal to resistivity into cell constant. So resistance is R, resistivity is rho. So G star, it is this cell constant. So this is one relation. So relationship between resistance and resistivity. Resistance is equal to resistivity into cell constant. The ratio of length to the area of an electrolytic solution. So that ratio is called cell constant. Cell constant is denoted by G star. Resistance is equal to resistivity into cell constant. So hagadre specific resistance ಅಥವಾ resistivity ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, resistivity is nothing but resistance when its length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 square meter. So what is the unit of resistivity? ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ rho is equal to RA by L. So R is equal to rho into L by A. So therefore rho is equal to RA by L. RA divided by L. Resistance is expressed in terms of ohms and area m meter square meter. Cancel adre ohm meter is the unit of, so unit is So unit is ohm meter. Ohm meter or ohm centimeter. So it is the unit of resistivity or specific resistance. Clear? Then similar. So what is meant by the specific conductance or conductivity? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. R is equal to rho into L by A. Resistance is equal to resistivity into cell constant. Unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Resistivity is nothing but resistance. When length is 1 meter, area of cross section is 1 square meter. Then fourth one, specific conductance. So fourth one, specific conductance, or is also called conductivity. It is denoted by K. Specific conductivity and specific resistance, they are inversely varies. So conductivity is the reciprocal of resistivity. So therefore unit is per ohm per meter or Siemens per meter. Siemens per meter. But second alla idu Siemens per ohm means Siemens per meter or Siemens per centimeter. So we know that R is equal to rho into L by A. So 1 by rho is equal to 1 by R into L by A. Reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity. Reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity. Reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. So cell constant is denoted by G star. So therefore this is the relationship between the conductivity and conductance. So here also, when K is equal to G, when length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter. If length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter, so specific resistance ಗಳಿದ್ದಾವಲ್ಲ, so in case of specific resistance of all the ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಮಗೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಟೋಟಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ 1 cubic meter ಬೇಕು, ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte is called specific resistance. And what is meant by the specific conductance? Conductance of all the ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte. So conductivity is equal to the conductance. K is conductivity, G is conductance. Conductivity is equal to the conductance when its length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter. So for a uniform conductor, ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ electrolytic conductor ಅಂದ್ರೆ electrolytes ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. So for a uniform conductor, if length is 1 meter, ನೋಡಿ solution, ಎರಡು electrodes ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ solution ಇದೆ, length 1 meter ಇದೆ. Area of this electrolytic solution is 1 square meter. So ಅವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ conductivity is equal to the conductance when its length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter. So for a uniform conductor, if length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter, then conductivity is equal to its conductance. So what is the unit of conductivity? Unit is Siemens per meter. Resistivity ಗಾದ್ರೆ ohm meter, conductivity ಗಾದ್ರೆ Siemens per meter or per ohm per meter. Clear? So this is about conductivity. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ specific conductance, conductivity ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. ಏನಾದ್ರೆ conductivity ಅಂದ್ರೆ conductance of ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte. Concentration is vector remove. If length is 1 meter, area is 1 square meter, then the measured conductivity, measured conductance of solution is conductivity. Clear? Then another one. Molar conductivity. Molar conductivity. Fifth one. Fifth one. Molar conductivity. It is denoted. So inverted V. Todre. So kappa symbol antara. So inverted V type symbol togodre. So here this M represents molar. ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electron. Molar conductivity. Conductance of all the ions present in 1 cubic meter of the solution of an electrolyte which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. So conductance of all the ions. Conductance of all the ions present in 1 gram mole of electrolyte in 1 cubic meter of solution of electrolyte, or this electrolyte is placed between the two large electrodes of 1 centimeter apart or 1 meter apart. ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, 1 centimeter apart or 1 meter. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಡ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 1 ಮೀಟರ್. ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಷ್ಟು? 1 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮೀಟರ್. ಸೇಮ್. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು? 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೋಲ್, 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಾಸ್, 1 ಮೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. So gram mole ಅಂದ್ರೆ molecular mass is expressed in terms of gram. 1 gram mole is 1 gram molecular mass of substance. 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. Then conductivity of all the ions present in that electrolytic solution is called molar conductivity. So what is meant by molar conductivity? Conductance of all the ions present in 1 mole of an electrolyte in 1 cubic meter of solution. That is called the molar conductivity. Headline indicates the definition. Molar. 1 molar electrolyte ಇರಬೇಕು, 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ conductivity ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is molar conductivity. So molar conductivity is equal to the product of specific conductivity and the volume of solution in cubic meter. Volume in cubic meter which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. So volume in cubic meter which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. We know that volume and concentration, they are inversely varies. So therefore, molar conductivity is equal to K into 1 by C. C concentration that can be expressed in terms of moles per cubic meter. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ Cm ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ centimeter ಅಲ್ಲ. So this is concentration in moles per cubic meter. Moles per cubic meter. Then what is the unit of this molar conductivity? So now unit and observe madre. So unit is conductivity. So unit of conductivity is Siemens per meter. Siemens per meter divided 1 by C concentration moles per cubic meter. Moles per cubic meter. So numerator ಹೋದ್ರೆ Siemens meter square per mole. Siemens meter square per mole is the unit of molar conductivity. So it is expressed in terms of Siemens per mole square meter. Siemens per mole square meter is the unit of molar conductivity. And also if this concentration it is expressed in terms of moles per liter ಬಂದ್ರೆ, so molar conductivity is equal to K into 1000 divided by molarity. divided by molarity. So this is the another formula. So 1 liter 1000 cc, K into 1000 divided by molarity. So here the concentration expressed is moles per liter. Moles per liter ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ per cubic meter ಅನ್ನ ಲೀಟರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ K into 1000 divided by molarity. So this is also one of the most important definition for this molar conductivity. Important concept ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು. So molar conductivity, product of conductivity and the volume of solution cubic meter which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. So if the solution is diluted, so V value goes on increases, therefore the molar conductivity also increases. Molar conductivity increases with dilution. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ದಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್, so which reduces the interionic attraction force. So force of attraction between the opposite charge and decreases. Agar ಎರಡು opposite charge ions ಮಧ್ಯೆ attractive force ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so these ions move towards the oppositely charged electrodes, increases. So therefore the conductivity increases. So on diluting, the molar conductivity increases by decreasing the interionic attractive force. Clear? So this is about molar conductivity. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ molar conductivity is equal to conductivity multiplied by volume of solution cubic meter. So we know that volume is inversely proportional to concentration. So here volume which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte in 1 cubic meter of solution. So that is why here reciprocal of Cm is the concentration in terms of moles per cubic meter. So this is converted into moles per cubic decimeter, then 1000 by molarity. So what is the unit of molar conductivity? Siemens per mole square meter. Then another one, sixth one is equivalent conductivity. Sixth one, equivalent conductivity. Equivalent conductivity. So what is meant by the equivalent conductivity? Difference is, headline indicates a definition. Conductivity, conductance of ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte. How much amount of electrolyte is used? Equivalent, 1 equivalent. So conductance of all the ions, conductance of all the ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution which contains 1 gram equivalent mass of electrolyte. Now difference ಏನಿದೆ molar conductivity ಗೂ equivalent conductivity ಗೂ, molar conductivity ನಲ್ಲಿ 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. Equivalent conductivity ನಲ್ಲಿ 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte which contains 1 gram equivalent mass of an electrolyte. 1 gram equivalent mass of an electrolyte. So therefore the mathematical expression is equivalent conductivity is equal to K into same again volume of solution in cubic meter, so which contains 1 gram equivalent mass of electrolyte. 1 gram equivalent mass of electrolyte, equivalent conductivity. And also we know that, so here so instead of this one, so it is equal to K into 1000 divided by, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು, so it is equal to K into 1 divided by concentration in, ನೋಡಿ it is expressed in terms of concentration 1 cubic meter of solution of an electrolyte which contains 1 equivalent mass of an electrolyte, gram equivalent mass, or equivalent conductivity is equal to K into 1000 divided by, we know that number of gram equivalent mass of solute present in 1 liter. That is called normality. Normality. So this is the another important formula. Agar molar conductivity equivalent conductivity, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 mole electrolyte ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 gram equivalent mass of electrolyte ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ molarity ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ normality ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. So conductance of all the ions present in the electrolytic solution which contains 1 gram equivalent mass of an electrolyte whose volume is, now the volume of the electrolytic solution is 1 cubic meter. 1 cubic meter. So this is equivalent conductivity. So molar and equivalent conductivities. So mention the factors on which the equivalent and molar conductivity depends. Equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity. So equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity. It depends on nature of the electrolyte, concentration of the electrolyte, and temperature. So it depends on nature of electrolyte, concentration of electrolyte, and the temperature. So we know that in general, as the temperature increases, generally electrolytic conduction increases. Both equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity increases with the temperature. So as the temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the ions increases, means mobility increases. And we know that conductivity is directly proportional to mobility of ions. Therefore, both equivalent and molar conductivity increases with temperature. And concentration. So as the concentration of an electrolyte increases, as normality increases, ನೋಡಿ concentration increase ಅಂದ್ರೆ normality ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಥವಾ molarity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. Since these terms are present in the denominator, therefore equivalent and molar conductivity decreases. Or in other words, as the dilution increases, ನೀವು dilute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ concentration ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, denominator value ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that is why the equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity increases. So on diluting the solution of an electrolyte, both equivalent and molar conductivity increases. Dilute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ equivalent conductivity, molar conductivity ಎರಡೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. So V value ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ equivalent conductivity ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, molar conductivity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Or by increasing the concentration of solutions. So as the concentration of solutions increases, the number of ions are more in the electrolytic solutions. So due to the presence of more number of oppositely charged ions, they are held together by a strong electrostatic force, so that those ions are not easily migrate towards the oppositely charged electrons. So that is why as the concentration increases, the molar as well as equivalent conductivity decreases. Variation of equivalent and molar conductivity varies with the nature. So it depends on nature of electrolyte, concentration of electrolyte, and temperature. Clear? Done. So what is the unit of? So unit of equivalent conductivity. So unit is Siemens per gram equivalents per square meter. ನೀವು per mole ಅನ್ನ ಬದಲಾಗಿ per gram equivalents. Siemens per gram equivalent square meter. Siemens per gram equivalent square meter is unit of equivalent conductivity. So molar conductivity. So this is for equivalent conductivity. So for molar conductivity, so unit is Siemens per mole square meter. No difference ಏನಿದೆ, per gram equivalents per mole. In case of molar conductivity, Siemens per mole square meter. In case of equivalent conductivity, Siemens per gram equivalents square meter. Clear? So this is about, in case of electrolytic conduction, resistance, resistivity, conductance, conductivity, molar conductivity, and equivalent conductivity. ಇಲ್ಲಿ formulas ಅನ್ನ correct ಆಗಿ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Next, another one. Factors affecting electrolytic conductance. Factors affecting factors affecting electrolytic conductance. Factors affecting electrolytic conductance and factors affecting metallic conduction. Electrolytic conductance in case of metallic conductions. So on what factors the metallic conduction depends? So metallic conduction depends on nature of metal. Nature of metal. Then second point is valence electrons per atom. So number of valence electrons per atom. Number of valence electrons per atom. Third one is temperature. So these are the three factors which affects the metallic conduction. So which one of the following factor which affect the metallic conduction? Nature of the metal, nature and structure ante nature of metal and number of valence electrons per atom and also temperature. ಈ ಮೂರು ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದು ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. On what factors the electrolytic conduction depends? The electrolytic conduction, it depends on first point, interionic attraction. Interionic attraction. Second point, polar solvent. Polar solvent. Or the polarity of the solvent, not polar, or polarity of the solvent. Polarity of the solvent. Third point is size of hydrated ion. Size of hydrated ion. Fourth one is temperature. Fifth one is viscosity. Viscosity of the medium. Then sixth one, dilution. So what are the factors which affecting the electrolytic conduction? So as the interionic attraction increases, electrolytic conduction decreases. Electrolytic conduction decreases. Now observe mind. In between the oppositely charged ions, the attractive force between the oppositely charged ions, that is called the interionic attraction. अगर ions मध्ये attractive force ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ions electron ಕಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If the mobility of ions increases, conductivity increases, electrolytic conductivity increases. Is it clear? So that is why as the interionic attraction increases, electrolytic conduction decreases. Then the polar solvents increases the electrolytic conductance. So polar solvents increases electrolytic conduction. As the polarity of the solvent increases, dielectric constant increases. Dielectric constant means it is the ability of a solvent which decreases the attractive force between the oppositely charged ions. So that means as the polarity of the solvent increases, dielectric constant increases, therefore the electrolytic conduction also increases. So increases, electrolytic conductivity increases. Then size of the hydrated ion. So as size increases, electrolytic conduction decreases. As the size of the hydrated ion increases, mobility decreases. Therefore, the conductivity also, electrolytic conduction also decreases. Then case of temperature. So as temperature increases, the electrolytic conduction also increases. So as temperature increases, the interionic force decreases, mobility of ions increases, kinetic energy of the ions increases. So therefore, as the temperature increases, the electrolytic conduction also increases. Then viscosity of the medium. So higher the viscosity, lesser will be the electrolytic conduction. So higher the viscosity, lesser will be the electrolytic conduction. If the viscosity of the medium is very high, as the temperature increases, the liquid is easy to flow. Viscosity decreases. So the solvents with the high viscosity, that decreases the electrolytic conduction. Then dilution. So we know that as the dilution increases, both equant conductivity and molar conductivity increases. But as the dilution increases, conductivity decreases. So dilution increases, conductivity decreases. Since ನೋಡಿ conductivity ಅಂತಂದ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, conductivity is the conductance of ions present in 1 cubic meter of solution. 1 cubic meter ಇರಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. Solution dilute ಆದಾಗ volume of solution increases, number of ions per unit cc decreases. So therefore the conductivity also decreases. So the dilution increases, conductivity decreases, since number of ions per unit cc decreases. ಈಗ 1 cubic meter of solution electrolyte ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, number of ions per unit cc decreases. So therefore the number of ions per unit cc decreases, conductivity decreases. But we know that molar and equant conductivity, so it is nothing but the product of K into V. So as dilution increases, so both molar and equant conductivity increases with the dilution. Is it clear? Conductivity decreases with dilution. Molar and equant conductivity increases with dilution. Clear? So these are all the important points regarding factors affecting the electrolytic conductions. Then, so what is the relationship between molar and equant conductivity? Clear? So ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಈಕ್ವಿವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. Relation between molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity. So how is molar conductivity differ from equant conductivity? So equivalent conductivity is equal to molar conductivity divided by n plus into z plus. So here so it is the equivalent conductivity. So this is the molar conductivity. Then n plus, it represents the number of cations. Cations. Z plus is the charge on cation. Clear? So equant conductivity is equal to molar conductivity divided by n plus into z plus. ಈಗ suppose, so for aluminum sulfate Al2SO4 thrice. So what is the relationship between equant and molar conductivity? So equant conductivity is equal to, so molar conductivity of Al2SO4 thrice divided by, so aluminum sulfate, it undergoes ionization. So Al2 SO4 thrice will give rise to 2Al plus 3 plus 3SO4 minus 2. Clear? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ number of cations. So aluminum sulfate ionizes to form 2 cations. So 2 into number of cations 2 into Z plus. Z plus is charge on cation. Charge on cation is 3. 2 into 3. So therefore, so equivalent conductivity of Al2SO4 thrice, it is equal to molar conductivity of Al2SO4 thrice divided by 6. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ this is the relationship between equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity. So equivalent conductivity is equal to, so ಇದು important formula ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ equivalent conductivity is equal to molar conductivity divided by n plus into Z plus. N plus is the number of cations, Z plus is the charge on the cation. Clear? So because we know that equivalent conductivity depends on the gram equivalent mass of electrolyte. 1 gram equivalent mass ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. So equivalent mass and molecular mass are different. So molecular mass is equal to 2 times, if the basicity is 2, 2 times the equivalent mass. If basicity is 3, 3 times the equivalent. N into, or the valency factor into, so equivalent mass is equal to molecular mass ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾನ, so equivalent conductivity is equal to molar conductivity by n plus into Z plus. Okay, so in the next class, variation of molar conductivity with dilution. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿ ಬೈ ಹಕಲ್ ಅನ್ಸಾಗರ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್.